I'm just gonna jump into it. Hopefully, this is helpful. I have a couple of things written down that are more like handles on Instagram and YouTube specifically. And so, um, 2, 3 weeks ago, the problem with Instagram and YouTube, as far as it goes with ministry and churches, is that there wasn't enough content being posted. And so, if I'd been asked to do this talk a month ago, I would have just said post, post, post. Any content is good content because 99% of churches outside of John's church are not posting enough a month ago. But now we absolutely do not have that problem. And I think the first thing that I want to say is just because you can post it doesn't mean you should post it. Like people, I think, speaking into what Chris was talking about, the pressure of needing to be on your phone, like youth pastors and pastors are feeling that more than ever right now. And I think the first thing before we talk about posting, like you need to disconnect so that you can still connect with God. I think we're spending, it's just being thrown at us. Like we don't know how to do this. We don't know how to, we never had to do full-time youth ministry from our phone before. And it's really easy to just be on it all day. And I don't know about you, but when I'm on my phone all day or when I'm just busy all day, my connection to God stops immediately. And so this is just something that I've been doing is like from 9 to 12 every day. I've just designated that time as like I'm going to be on my phone a lot during that time. But then there are other hours of the day, like when I get to 5, I am not touching my cell phone because I do not want to miss what God might be speaking to me. So first thing I want to say logistically is, hey, if it just because you can post it doesn't mean that you should post it. There's so much content that's out there right now that I think that our students are kind of getting tired of it, and it's only been 2 weeks. And so I want to encourage you to really make sure that the content meets a certain criteria. The first criteria is it helpful? Does it have a purpose? The purpose doesn't always have to be like some theological mind bomb or some like really great encouragement. The purpose could literally be to entertain, it could be to encourage, it could be informational, but make sure it has a purpose, because I think we're getting to the point of this quarantine where things that don't have a purpose are beginning to turn people off, not just other youth pastors, but your students as well. So does it have a purpose? The second thing that I always try to ask myself is this content shareable? So if I was consuming this content, if I was watching it or looking at it, if it's a post, would I be inclined to share it? Now, not everyone is going to share your stuff, right? You've got Johnny, the 11-year-old, following your account, and you've got the 19-year-old. Well, the 11-year-old might not share it. He might just scroll through it. But you want to make it as shareable as possible, because the way the algorithm works is, you guys probably know this already, but every thing and interaction that is available to people, to consumers on Instagram, YouTube, it all has a different rating system. So a like might be worth like 1 point in the algorithm. A comment might be worth 2 points, but a share is like the ding, ding, ding max point as far as algorithms go. So whenever I'm creating content, for whether it's me personally, whether it's for our ministry, I always want to make sure it has a shareable aspect to it, because if it does, and if people will share it, that increases the chances of people who don't follow our account to see it, which that kind of got a negative connotation when we weren't quarantining. It's like, oh, why are you so concerned about other people seeing it? But now that's literally our only way to evangelize. So we want new people to see our content. The third thing that I've been running my filter through is this different, or is this what everyone else is posting? Because if it's not different, then it's going to get the same response that everyone else is getting, which is kids are just scrolling right now. So just a few examples is like, right now I see a ton of youth pastors posting sermon clips. I love sermon clips. I like posting sermon clips. Probably not the best time to post a sermon clip, because there's so many people posting those because it's easy. You've already got video shots of past sermons and you're just throwing it on there. But if everyone's doing that right now, like right now, I'm scrolling past sermon clips. Like, make it different, whether it's you sitting down talking to your students, encouraging them. I noticed John did a thing about this yesterday. I thought it was awesome. Make it real, make it quick, right? Their attention span is already short, but with this influx of content, make it quick, make it short, make it encouraging, make it have purpose, make it have shareable, make it a little different. You know, maybe you see a bunch of people sitting in a room like this giving encouragement. Walk outside with your dog or use your baby as a prop. I mean, do something different that's going to grab people's attention, because if you can get them to stop and watch, it's going to give a boost to the algorithm as well. I wrote this little tip down. As Chris mentioned, we are in transition. My wife and I, we were leading a young adult ministry in Cleveland, Tennessee that we started about 3.5 years ago. And our biggest growth came from social media. So we started with about 11 young adults, and we reached about 600 young adults in about 1.5 years. It just exploded, and people were asking what our marketing strategy was. And my number one thing for social media was that our team needed to interact fast. And this is what I mean by that. The Instagram and YouTube algorithm, it works on I call it the magic number system. Okay, so I'm gonna try to explain this as plainly as I can. Say you post a photo on Instagram, right? This bomb photo of you, you know, with your students, everyone looks happy. You've got ice cream sandwiches in your hands. It's an awesome photo. You post it, and the way the Instagram algorithm works is it's going to look at the first 100 people that interact with your photo, the first 100 people that see your photo. And there's a magic number that Instagram wants you to hit. I don't know the magic number. I think personally it might change over time, but let's just say the magic number is 70, okay? If you can get 70 of the first 100 people that see your photo to like or share it, it dings Instagram and says, hey, this is really good content. We need to put this on the Discover page. So I don't know if you've ever been on the Discover page, like how do people get on here, or maybe the Discover page on YouTube. That's how it works. It's not based off of the number of followers you have or the number of people that are seeing. It's based off the interaction of the first 100 people. And that is what tells these social media platforms that it's good. So if you have a team of 8 people, of 12 people, of 20, whatever your team looks like, your serve team, your volunteer team, tell them when you're going to post and say, hey, even if you just like it, make sure you interact with it, because that is going to be huge. So our team, what we would do is we'd say, hey, tonight we're posting at 7 o'clock. Make sure you're ready. You have your post notifications on. This is what we're telling our team. And when we posted, our expectation was you're at least going to like or comment on that post. Our Instagram account started with like 40 or 50 people, and it grew to like 2,000 people in just a couple of months because our content was consistently being put on the Explore page. So that's just something like really little that you can do right now while all of your team members or all of your student serve team are sitting at home. Just ask them to like it when you post it. Ask them to be one of the first people on there. The second thing that I'll say about the algorithm is that it is much easier to hit those numbers if you post during an active time. Now, right now, there's a lot of people who are at home and the times are kind of off, but a general rule of thumb is if you post 30 minutes before lunch, that's a really good time to post because people are going to be checking their phone while they're eating food. And then at nighttime, what I found is anytime between like 8 and 10 o'clock locally of your time is a great time to post. That's when we're seeing the most results. But yeah, that's kind of what we've been doing as far as like content creation, the filter we've been going through, and then as far as what we're trying to hit algorithm wise. But the last thing I'll say is just narrow your focus, because I think right now it's really easy to be like squirrel, you know, like I'll do that because I see Elevation and they're killing it with that. And then, oh, squirrel, like I saw that guy do this, I'm going to try to do that. If you will just like pick 1 or 2 things to make really good. So if you're going to do like a 1-minute encouragement a couple times a week, make it like the best encouragement ever, but don't try to be Elevation when you don't have a whole media team making the bomb stuff that they're doing. Don't try to be your favorite podcaster who has all this knowledge that they're dropping. Just be you really well. Follow the criteria. Is this helpful? Is this shareable? Is this a little bit different? And just go for it. Your students are going to interact with it. If you get your team on there, there's a chance it's going to get on the explore page. Just set yourself up to be successful now, but also when we go back to normal.